Hi everybody,
Hi.
Jia's here,
Yeah, I'm
gonna
back.
join us for drinking this autumn 2018 Yunnan sourcing tea from Iwu. This is our Iwu series. Lovely wrapper by Giovanni Crispino.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be drinking the Jia Zhai. Jia Zhai is one of the 6 Iwu villages that we made this autumn. And probably at least my favorite, or equally my favorite with some of the other ones.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah. Jia Zhai is an area just north of Iwu town. You go to Jia Zhai north. If you keep heading north, there's like Lao, Jia Zhai, and Zhangjiawan's up there. From Jia Zhai, if you go east, it's like Yishanmo. So it's north and kind of heading not too far from the Yunnan-Lao border. The people that live in Jia Zhai are mostly Yaozu, Yao minority people. We've also produced a tea called Yao Ding, which is also a Jia Zhai area, but a different family. So if you enjoyed Yao Ding, you might also enjoy this tea as well. We also did produce Jia Zhai, this tea from the same family, in autumn of 2009, which was, I think, some of our very first Iwu productions and our first Jia Zhai production. That's a 357 gram cake, and it's pretty amazing. But so if you want to get in on the ground level, as it were, this autumn one is really awesome. But we're gonna drink it now. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna get started. We're doing the silver gaiwan here, and 150. I think it's 150 milliliter gaiwan, and we're doing 10 grams of tea. So
It's a lot of tea.
there's a lot of tea. Yeah, I'm feeling it today. I feel like. Oh yeah, this looks good.
Yeah.
Bill.
Okay.
We don't need a strainer. A little bit of stuff's not a big deal. But yeah, the autumn teas this year really solid overall. The weather cooperated really well. Been really fortunate in the last few years to have. Wow, nice. To have really good weather in the spring and the autumn, so that's been. I'm actually gonna sip this a little bit.
Yes.
I just love Iwu teas, and I just feel like they're so balanced, you know? I feel like they have a little bit of everything. Still too hot. I guess not too hot. The cup was nice and cold. Yeah, it's too watery. I'm ready to.
Yeah, the wash.
Yeah. So Jia Zhai. I have a map of Iwu it's huge though, it's like a poster. I tried to scan it once, but I couldn't. I just took a top-down picture of it, and I've been meaning to try to digitize it and translate it, but it not only includes Iwu, but also includes like Ibang and some of the more outlying areas, Xiangming as well. So it's got literally hundreds of villages on the map, so translating it would be.
Smell this.
Oh, that smells so good. So rich and sweet.
Yeah.
And how would you describe that smell? It just smells like really good raw pu'er. I don't know how else to describe it. I got so excited this thing fell off again. I guess that's a good sign.
I don't know. Just, it's special. The raw pu'er is always have special aroma.
Yeah. Where's that thermometer? Can you give me the thermometer? There you go. So in the last video I do this because I tend to get really excited when I have tea in front of me, and I tend to burn myself. So this is, although I could just wait, it's a really good way for me to be mindful. May seem a little bit silly, and not that I would like take this around to like tea shops and to the tea mountains, but it's just good for my day-to-day tea drinking to be really mindful of that. What do you think?
It's good. It's
It's good. Yes. What else?
Take time. I can't just same time say it's good then something.
Okay. Okay.
Together.
Sorry. No pressure.
Yeah. I always like the Jia Zhai. It's sweet, but it's strong. It's not just some teas is very strong and the bitterness is take over.
Yeah, aggressive.
But, yeah. But the Jia Zhai is powerful, it's strong, but same time you can taste the sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very balanced. It's very thick and full-bodied as well. Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice golden tea soup. Do you feel like autumn teas, especially Iwu teas, the tea soup when it's young tends to be more gold, like more yellow gold, whereas the spring tea tends to be more like a little bit less yellow gold, a little bit more green? I kind of feel like that. And it's not processing because this tea doesn't look oxidized at all. Like there's no real
and you also use a lot. You use 10 grams.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's me, maybe it's like 8 grams.
Yeah, but that's not why it would be this tea soup would be this color.
I think it's have some reason.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a full gallon.
The steep, I pushed a little bit.
Oh yeah. This is much more kind of like what a normal human being would drink. But
next time just use 8 grams.
So when are we gonna do the next tea guessing videos? Are you willing to do those again?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But I don't know what should we drink to guess. Raw pu'er.
I don't know. You
That's
impressed
hard.
me the other day. I was drinking a tea and you came in and you guessed exactly which tea it was.
Probably is lucky.
You didn't know if it was a Yunnan sourcing tea or not. You didn't know what year it was. You just drank it and she guessed it dead on. I was kind of in shock because I don't think I would be able to do that. But sometimes you guess stuff and you're just way, way, way off. So it could be really embarrassing as well. Just depends whether or not you're willing to take the risk, of looking, good or not. Well, that's quite a long stem.
Yeah.
I also feel like Iwu teas, and I think I've said this before, that autumn teas tend to be, well, as with any pu'ers, autumn teas always tend to be less expensive, but they're not dramatically cheaper either. But I don't feel like they perform better than their price. They don't, for example, if an autumn tea was 40% less than a spring tea, it doesn't perform 40% less, in my opinion. and if you like the differences, the fact that it's a little bit less, it's a little bit more malt. I don't want to say malt. It's a little bit more thick and sweet. Spring teas tend to be just a bit more aggressive. But I mean, I've found sometimes that I prefer the autumn tea to the spring tea, you know, and it really depends on your mood, because I mean, it's not like there's one tea that you just want to drink all the time, especially us. I mean, obviously, you know, we're not just drinking one kind of tea and wouldn't be satisfied to drink one kind of tea. I mean, I suppose if we were on a desert island or something, or we were like on a boat and we were going to get scurvy, I would be totally happy to drink one kind of tea. But assuming I had a choice, which...
You have too much choice.
Yeah, we have too many choices. And so do you. I had a customer the other day tell me, say something like, why do I feel like I need a PhD in, like, you know, in qualitative analysis or something to browse your website and make choices? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe that'll be a thing at a university, you know, a university degree or a PhD dissertation. How to select teas from Yunnan sourcing, and a guide to the impossible.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people are like, well, how come you don't make it easier? And it's like, it's not easy. That's the thing. And I try not to point people too much, because I don't have an ability to predict what teas people are going to like.
Yeah.
Even if they give me a few that they like, that helps, but it doesn't really allow me to predict things. And again, back to the beginner tea thing, I just don't believe in beginner teas. Beginner teas that's just not a thing, in my opinion. Unless you can't, I mean, how do you go from a beginner, like, I don't like bitter and astringent, to I like bitter and astringent? You just can't. You're not just, unless you just change your whole persona. I guess that's possible.
You just need to drink something good.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, like, this tea is so good because it's so full-bodied and it's floral and there's so much texture and it's smooth and it's not, its harshness doesn't, the bitterness and astringency of it doesn't you know, like, take over, like you said, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a very pleasant experience. So I mean, teas like this, I think it's like, if you can drink it as a whole thing and not just be like, oh, it's bitter, you know, then you can really, you know, you can get the most out of these teas. Especially when they're young. When they're older, it's going to change a lot, and it's going to be much, you know, that bitterness and astringency is going to fade a lot, and it's going to be replaced by, you know, fruity and sweet and a lot of other things, aged taste, as I like to call it, because there's really no other way to describe it. But yeah. So what are the other ones that we made for the autumn?
香春林.
Oh yeah, 香春林. We made that again. We made that in the spring.
张家湾是不是？
张家湾.
郑家梁子.
郑家梁子 we never made before. Or no, 张家湾 we never made before. 张家湾 was the first time we made that. Manjuan. 香春林, Manjuan, 郑家梁子, 张家湾, Ding Jia Zhai, and Lao Qian.
Yeah, Lao Qian.
But that one hasn't been pressed yet. Good stuff.
The stock is cool.
Yeah.
Cool and cute.
Kind of looks like Chewbacca.
Chewbacca?
From Star Wars.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Great design. Oh, and that reminds me, we do have a design contest for the Year of the Pig, and that's going, I just extended the submission date until January 20th of 2019. So if you want to check that out, go to blog.yunnansourcing.com and you can find the details about that. But we'd love to get entries, and you win, I think, up to $250 for the designs, $250 in credit on yunnansourcing.com or .us. for the winner, and there's going to be multiple prizes and multiple tiers. And of course, we print your name on the back of the wrapper, so that people know who you are, and also on the website too. We let everybody know who designed the wrapper. So it's kind of like a good way for, it's kind of a win. I'd like to think of it as a win-win situation with, for designers and artists, and for us as well, because we get a great design, and you get tea or tea wares or whatever you want from the website, and you get the exposure as well. So definitely check that out. This year's the year of the pig, but it could also be like a wild boar. I got a submission from somebody that I really like, that's kind of like a wild boar, and it's really nice. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think there's going to be some great designs. So yeah, I would encourage you, if you want to enter a design or two, please do. And we're very, very grateful for our people that have done that in the past, and it's a real, exciting part of what we do, to be able to have these incredible designs to complement these beautiful and wonderful teas that we have. And it's really exciting. But okay.
Just the water just.
Yeah, I have to be mindful. I'm sure you've burned yourself when you drink tea, and it's never pleasant. So I think now you can push it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wow, this tea is strong. I'm feeling it. I think once we get the final tea in the Yiwu series out of the tea factory, we're going to offer like a sampler where you can get a sample of each of the 6 different teas in a set and drink them together. The other thing, might as well talk about it, is we're doing blind samplers sets now. We put them out each month, and we keep them, unlike the tea club, they don't change, they just stay in stock. So I think we started in September, October, November, and now we have a December one as well. And those are different sets of tea, kind of based around a theme. For example, this month's theme is Danzhong, and it's spring versus winter. So it's 4 Danzhongs, and you just get them labeled A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
And you don't know anything about them. There's a key that you can download from the listing when you're ready to know what they are. But I think it's a really good way to kind of drink teas and divorce yourself from the bias, the unavoidable biases that we have. The more that we learn about tea, the more we develop biases, because knowledge is both a very useful tool and also an obstacle to enjoyment as well, because the mind is always kind of doing its thing, and it's going to be doing its thing anyways when you're drinking the teas, but you're not going to be able to correlate any much information because you don't know what tea it is. And I think that's helpful for enjoyment and for learning as well, for building your knowledge, but also, I think just taking a different approach. It's like with science, is you take sometimes different approaches to things and set up different controls so that you can, understand things in a different way. So I really would encourage people to do that as well. Maybe we'll do some kind of regional soon, or like a Yiwu village, or even just a regional blind tasting sampler where we could have different parts of Yiwu, or even just different regions of Yunnan, where you drink it blind and kind of get an idea. Maybe have it be all spring 2018 teas so that they would be the same age. But if you have any ideas for blind tasting samplers, leave them in the comments below this video, and I'll definitely take it into consideration, because I think there's a lot of things that we could do. So I'd like to hear back. I'd like to hear from y'all about what would be interesting for you. Nice. the bitterness and astringency have faded a lot. That's another interesting thing about Yiwu tea, I think, or a good Yiwu tea is, in the end part, a lot of teas, the astringency just dominates and it just becomes only astringency. Whereas with Yiwu, I find a lot of Yiwu teas and a lot of just good teas in general, especially mature tree, old tree, whatever you want to call them, teas. At the end, they tend to not be very astringent, and they tend to just be sweet.
Yeah.
So it's much more, as the steeps go on, they're just much more pleasant. They don't just morph into this kind of like, mouth puckering, astringency, which, I think some of the teas that do that, you can just leave them at that point or just keep drinking. So, I mean, it doesn't, some people don't mind, some of those, but this one is very, very sweet. I'll have a little bit more.
I really like the dinjia.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I probably used a little too much, but it's like when I drank that 2013, did a video of the 2013 autumn Boulang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
That's if you used too much. Totally.
That was, well, and I drank another tea, another autumn, I can't even remember which one it was, but I drank another autumn 2013 tea. So I drank them two at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was so messed up. I mean, it was, I could have eaten like a pint of Ben and Jerry's after that. Like, I don't know, when I drink teas like this, I get really hungry. I know that teas and caffeine in general are supposed to suppress appetites, but maybe it's just a blood sugar thing, but I don't know. I always usually feel really hungry. But
you shouldn't drink too strong tea together.
Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know. It's like when we lived in China and we would go out and drink, eat hot pot, super spicy hot pot, and drink baijiu, rice alcohol, and not you, but me, and man, that was like, it's, it's kind of, you get a little,
a little or a lot.
Yeah, well, with the spices and everything, and I think the tea is really powerful too. I mean, now I don't drink at all, and everything, pretty much, I would say tea is by far the most strong kind of substance that I put into my body.
The stuff make you high.
Yeah, that's, but tea drunk, yeah.
Tea drunk.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing.
Not fun.
Yeah, but I think there's different kinds of tea drunk too. There's
a little bit.
Like, there's feeling good, like you feel good, but you feel a little bit not entirely like normal. That's good. That's a good tea drunk. But then there's like the tea drunk where you drank way too much tea, or you drink bad tea and you feel like bad things are going to happen, or you get, just really, that's how I feel when I drink coffee. Like, I can't drink coffee at all. If I drink coffee, it's like I have this like knot in my brain, and I feel like, something really bad is about to happen to me. Coffee just gives me anxiety. Yeah. I mean, I love the taste of it. I mean, good coffee is tastes great, but I don't know. The energy of tea, it's interesting because I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's just caffeine. It's like, no, it's not. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of other stuff going on.